So we no longer feel like we're drinking from a fire hose? Stay tuned in today's video to find out what we are talking about.
Yes, so I'm Annie and this is my husband Zach, and about a year and a half ago, not that long ago, we moved our family from California to Scotland where Zach was born and raised. And we've learned a thing or two.
Yes, it's been a busy year and a half, and like Annie said, we have learned a lot, and we're here to pass on some wisdom and guidance to tell you why year 2 is so much better and easier than year 1.
Yes.
Point number 1, comparison is the thief of all joy. And we experienced that in year 1. We wanted to come over and assimilate or re-assimilate here, but once you've established a life in another country, it's really hard not to look back to what you had versus what you now have and are building on. So for me, the prime example was my job. I was in a job where I was set, I was moving up, I was good at my job, and then I had to start from scratch. And we knew that going in, and we knew this first year would be, or the first year would be like a rebuilding year. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, saying that to yourself and living it can be two separate things. So really telling myself that this is a rebuilding year is what you have to do.
And being so efficient in what you were doing previously to having to start from scratch and having zero efficiency, having to learn new systems, everything, that is quite, jarring event.
Yeah, I'm all about efficiency, and yeah, it's starting again. And it can be, a job's a big example, but little things like doing the laundry, for example.
Yes, so I really tried not to compare things between the two countries, but it's so much easier said than done.
Those big top-loading US washing machines, they'll just gobble up 3 children's worth of clothes
and it's because I knew
get it washed in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I knew what to expect. I could do my laundry, get it done really quickly, and it was about the size of a school bus, so I could fit everything in one load and be done with it.
And if the lid's shut, it would get clean.
Yeah. Whereas here, the whole way of doing laundry is different, and it just took me so much longer, which I would think like, oh, if I just did it, like had my old washer, I'd go back and compare. But now, year 2, I fully embraced. I know how long it's going to take me to do each load. I do much smaller loads more frequently, and it actually is much easier because then I don't have 3,000 pieces of clothing on the bed needing to be folded at 9 p.m.
Always on the bed. Always on the bed. I don't know, it's like a sort of relief not to have to think about what was.
And in year 2, you really do find yourself just embracing your new lifestyle rather than thinking back to a way you might have done things before. And I so appreciate that shift in our mindset.
Yeah.
Our second point is decision fatigue. And this probably should have been number 1.
Yeah. That can be from little things to big things to everything, everyday things. The list is absolutely endless, and again, year 1, everything you do, there's all these firsts, and you're having to make a new decision about everything. At the grocery store, everywhere, basically.
Yes. You come over and you're starting pretty much from scratch. Most people don't ship over every belonging they have. So things that maybe we had since we've been married, we no longer have again. And we're like, okay, so where do I go get a toaster that has the 3-prong? Just little things like that. But times that by 1,000, and that is your new life.
Yeah. Throw kids into the mix as well. Deciding what's best for them. What activities we should sign them up for. Even for our kids, like what schooling year they go into.
Their uniforms, where to buy the uniforms, what size uniforms to buy, because sizing's slightly different.
And the colors bleed.
So it's just so many decisions right off the bat. There's no break, but it gets better. And in year 2, the decision fatigue, it's gone. You know what you're doing, and it makes life just fantastic.
Were those just our cares drifting up? We just don't care anymore. No, it is so true though. It's not taken that long. A year, I guess, is a long time in some regards, but for us, it's flown by. And you're starting to see some things again. You're like, okay, I've done this before. This was what we did. This worked, or this didn't work. And so it makes those 15 decisions down to 1 or 2.
Yes.
And it makes things so much easier.
I'd like to take a few minutes to kindly thank today's video sponsor, Level8. If you've been around a while, you know that we love to partner with Level 8, and it's because it's a company that we can truly vouch for. This summer, we put 2 of their cases to the test with multiple transatlantic journeys. And what can I say? They didn't disappoint. That's why Finnegan has decided to hijack Zach's 20-inch Gibraltar aluminum carry-on for our upcoming holiday to the Scottish Highlands and Islands. Although this case, made from aerospace-grade aluminium magnesium alloy, is perfectly situated for those pesky overhead compartments, those features might not be needed for this trip north. However, the ultra-quiet 360-degree durable spinner wheels will make getting to and from the car effortless, even across those stubborn pavers. Finnegan is especially thankful that all of his precious belongings will be kept safe and sound with durable TSA-approved locks. And what I appreciate most is Level 8's commitment to their customers. With a guaranteed lifetime warranty, you can rest assured that you'll be properly set up for all of your future travels. So if you want to level up your luggage, check out Level 8. And don't forget to use our code SCOTTISHLIVING for 10% off.
That decision fatigue leads perfectly into our next point. You don't know what you don't know. And we don't know much. Especially for me, that was hard because I know some of you don't believe it. I did grow up in Scotland. I lived here until I was 23, 24, but that was a different time in my life. So when I came back, I knew what a mid-20-year-old would know, but I didn't know anything about being a real grown-up and
a father
and buying a house and all that sort of stuff that comes along with it.
And in year 1, because you don't know what you don't know, you miss out on a lot of good stuff. So things like special events, by the time we found out about the event, all the tickets would be sold out. Little things like that. Whereas year 2, we're on it. We know the kids, we know what's available now in our area. So we got on the waiting list, and now they're actually into the sports or activities that we were hoping to get them into last year, but there was a year-long wait list. So
yeah, we had to think about it. It's like, why are we so much busier now? It's like, oh, it's because all those things that we missed are now coming into play, and we're almost like back into what we were aiming for in the first year. And that includes some of the stuff we actually made films about. So the Highland Games, that initially wasn't the Highland Games we were planning to go to, but tickets for the one we want to go to sold out. Pantomime. We've just bought our tickets this year for the Panto, and it's, what are we, September?
Yeah.
And they're in December. Last year, I think I was looking at tickets in December and realized that's not happening. Even now, tickets were limited, so we learned from that.
The Enchanted Forest.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Enchanted Forest as well. Sold out last time we looked. The Tattoo, I think we completely missed that.
Yes.
And
didn't even think about it.
We're in Edinburgh one day. It's like, oh yeah, the festival, the Tattoo. And
so many of those types of things, you just, like we said, you don't know what you don't know. Year 2 is also so much better because you finally have your routine.
I love a routine. I love a routine.
And so do children. And year
I think I've
1,
eaten the same lunch for about 7 years.
Yes,
I like my routine.
Year 1, you don't have a routine. You're finding out how to survive in a new country. But year 2, you figure that all out. It's behind you. You know what you do on Monday. You know what you do on Thursday night. You have your plan.
You know what time you need to leave for school. And you know, well, they just changed pickup times, but you know what time to pick up and how long things take to get there. And, traffic could be here. Or just the day-to-day stuff you take for granted after having a routine in one country. Starting over with everything else you have going on, it can easily be enough to throw you off.
Yeah.
And we've been caught out many times.
Definitely.
Until now. Year 2, finally making it strong.
It's our year. Year 2, it's our year.
One of the things that comes along with establishing routines is you start seeing the same people at the same places in the best way, because it makes it much easier to establish and continue new friendships.
That's so true, especially for me, having pretty much 0 friends other than Zach's family. Does that count? Or Zach's childhood friends? I just count them as my friends too.
That's what I did in the States. I just took Annie's friends and made them mine.
It's good though, because I like your friends. But over here, now because I've been doing certain things and getting involved in weekly activities and seeing those same faces, I actually have made friends. But I would say year 1, it took all of year 1 getting to the point to where I could have friends in year 2.
Yeah, you're really trying to find your your niche or your like-minded people. And for us, at least for me, the biggest success for me making relationships, including this one here, is finding a like-minded person and enjoying an activity with them.
Yes.
Or like we worked at a summer camp. So finding that thing you do together is the best way to make friends from my view. So yeah, finding whatever it is you might be interested in and then finding the best version of that for your people, it takes a while.
It does. And sometimes you try something and you're like, this isn't the crew I want to hang out with. And then you try something else and okay, yeah, that person seemed like we could be friends down the line. I'm going to keep going to this activity.
Well, that's a good point. Even once you've found the people you like, the repetition of actually showing up every week or whatever it is how those lasting friendships are made.
Yes.
And the Scottish people have been extremely welcoming, even though I think half the friends you've made are actually Americans who've moved over.
No, a third. But yeah, so
it takes a while to establish those. And,
it does.
Year 2, we can finally admit Annie has one new friend.
What? Talking about friendships brings us to our next point, and it's those pre-existing relationships from your previous country. And
yeah, this was something I was and actually am still horrible at, is keeping in touch with people when there's any sort of barrier. Annie is far better at it, but even for her, it took her a while to sort of find your rhythm and for your friends and family to sort of
find my messages. Yeah. My friends and family, we don't use WhatsApp that much in the US. It was just always text.
Yeah.
So I think there was about 6 months where no one responded to me. And I was like so isolated. Like, why are my friends? Like, that was hard. Year 1's hard because you're trying to figure out time zones, trying to find the time that works for both you and the person you want to communicate with.
While also trying to figure out your actual life anyway here. When do I have free time? What is free time? Free time?
And yeah, it's just tricky. But in year 2, all of that has been floundered about and then figured out.
Floundered about and figured out. Stamp that, put it on a book.
I floundered for a while with those relationships and just trying to make sure I was keeping up with friends. And yeah, now I know who needs to be contacted a certain way, who needs an email versus who needs a WhatsApp versus who is only available on Instagram.
I think we both turned on our US phones some time ago. I'm like, oh, there's that reply, or oh, this person's trying to be messaging me through text. And it's the little things, again, you don't think about that were so easy when you're in the same country with somebody that just tie into the bigger picture of you figuring yourself out and adding that little final piece of keeping up those really important friendships.
But in year 1, it can be tricky because now you don't have friends, physical friends near you. And then the friends that are far away are really hard to connect with. And everything else is new with the decision fatigue. So it's hard, but year 2, easy sailing.
Stay strong and just keep your fingers crossed that your friends stay with you.
Flounder and find yourself.
This next point is one I am delighted is, I think, over. Yes, it's over. Year 1 is just a year of buying stuff. Now, let me caveat on that because it's one thing we came here for is less stuff, but there's lots of things that you cannot bring with you that you still do need, like a toaster and like just silly appliances that you need but that don't have a 3-prong plug, couldn't bring with you. So you have to buy them. So it could even be things like a hand mixer. You use it like every once in a while, but when you need it and you realize you don't have it, you just have to go find it.
Or pens and pencils. Who really wants to put in like paper and pens and pencils to ship over?
Especially when the paper sizes are different.
Exactly. No one does that. So then you do have to repurchase all of that when you get over here.
And some of those items, not the paper, but the little accessories like that were the hardest ones. We didn't want to bring them with us because we didn't have the space for it.
Knew they were cheap enough to repurchase, but then they add up.
They add up, but it's not worth trying to sell them either.
True.
You get barely anything for them. And so, yeah, you can work and focus as hard as you like on trying to minimize and cut down, which we did, but you still just do need stuff to survive.
Yes. So what we're telling you, year 1ers, if you're on your way over here, have a safety net, have money put away for those things that you didn't expect to have to rebuy, because you just don't always keep track of things like that, or a ruler. So just
a fridge.
well, we didn't know that.
Didn't bring our fridge with us.
That's true. That there's those big purchases, and then there are those smaller ones, which in year 2, woohoo, we bought everything. We don't need it anymore.
Now let's get rid of stuff.
Buying.
No, it is just that slow, like, death by 1,000 needle. What's that thing? Death by 1,000.
Is
like
it needles?
It's not needles, but you know what I mean. Like the little things just keep
Cuts.
adding up.
Death by 1,000
there we go.
cuts.
That's the one. We're really good at words. We're really good at words. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it is the little ones that add up that just can get at you. But year 2, they're out of the way. You know what to expect. You've got all those things, and the Amazon account can take a break for now.
So in year 2, you've pretty much experienced a bit of everything. You've experienced all 4 seasons, and you have expectations now.
Yeah, whether that's weather or a lot of the other stuff we've already spoken about, just having that one experience of doing something can give you the freedom to know how to do it, when to do it, and that you can do it.
Too, yeah.
I know Annie at the start had a bit of trouble just feeling kind of isolated. We just had the one car. Someone's still not learned to drive over here. So silly things like just knowing when the bus turns up, or how to get the bus, or how much the bus costs. Things like that could be enough for you just to be like, oh, I just won't bother. Whereas now she is a bus aficionado. So things like that can give someone a bit more of their freedom, make them feel more independent, and just, yeah, make things a little bit easier in year 2.
So having a little bit of knowledge, a little bit more insight, and those firsthand experiences where you've done it is just key to a wonderful life over here in year 2.
Also, when people come to visit, like, oh, we're coming to visit, we're excited, where should we go? We're like, I don't know.
But now we do.
Yeah, so, now we have our little places to go. We know where to get a good Sunday roast. We know where to go for, well, there's amazing walks everywhere, but things like that just make you feel more like you belong here.
Yeah.
And that you're...
It does give you a sense of belonging.
Sense of peace as well. So stick strong. Stick strong.
Stick strong.
Stick strong. Flounder and find it. Stay strong, because year 2 is far better. Last point. What is our last point?
Year 1 is survival, where year 2 is more planning for the future and feeling like you actually have a home here.
We hinted at it at the start. The survival, drinking from the fire hose, everything's coming at you at once. Kids, school, food, house,
job.
Buying things, job, money, this, that, and the other. And you're just like, it makes you question your decision. I'm not going to lie. You're like, we had it easy over there. Why did we make it difficult for ourselves? We kept reminding ourselves why we made the move. And year 2, we're finally able to truly enjoy all those reasons we moved for. We have ourselves established enough to be content,
yes,
I'd say. And like Annie said, now we can start making more concrete plans for the future, whether that is a different job or we're definitely not moving, so we're staying here, but
yes,
from here, making this base. And that's another thing. My previous job, and one of the reasons we moved, it looked like we would be moving around every couple of years, and that's not what we wanted. And for that reason, we maybe held off on making the friendships, signing our kids up for things that would need a long-term commitment. And it's just so nice now that we've learned what we need to do to now put into action and put down our roots truly and make this home our forever home.
Our kids, for the first time in a long time, aren't asking us now, like, when are we moving again?
Yeah.
Like, that was sort of sad that that's just what they were expecting.
Yeah.
And thinking that they're going to have to make all new friends or start a whole new routine. And we can confidently say, we are set here. We're happy here. We found our community. And yeah, year 2 is just, once again, it's given us that confidence that we made the right decision.
And same for the house. We would have decisions, but it's like, well, we don't want to put that money into the house because we might move out of this
Previously.
house. Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, well, maybe we'll do X, Y, and Z or spend a little more because we know we're going to enjoy it for a number of years. So that's a nice freeing feeling to not have to think about, okay, how do you get your money back for that?
Getting to choose things that we want and get to enjoy, and not thinking about what's going to get us the most money, right?
Yeah. Or even worse, having to do something in a rental and then undo it when you move.
That's very true. But I think that pretty much sums up why year 2 is exponentially better than year 1.
Yes.
So anyone who's just made the move is looking to do this move. We even thought year 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I
in the grand
enjoyed
scheme
year
of things,
1, but just know, if you think year 1's good, it gets better. And if you think year 1 is awful, it gets better.
once you start seeing like the first repetition, you're like, oh, that's when it's sort of like, you just realize you're in your like flow state. And we kind of didn't realize until we kind of thought about this video, and we're like, well, actually, yeah, we've all these things we can talk about that have just got better because of time. And
But thank you, as always, for joining. Please leave us a comment on just how you're finding the experience, or if there's anything that we missed. I'd like to hear it.
Check out some of our previous videos. Last week, I had Annie tasting buckfast, haggis, macaroni pie, all these Scottish foods that she ended up loving. So check that out.
Although I do apologize, I was informed that I should have had the buckfast straight from the bottle.
Oh, yes, yeah. There's always room for improvement. Always room for improvement. That's all for today. We now have to go pack for our trip to the Highlands. So that is coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks. Until then, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.